anyone heard the song Aston Martin by Church and AP.
She was like,
Hey, where you going? Ain't you gonna ask me to dance or something?
Hey, I'm Rory Noble and I'm at the Aotearoa Music Producer Series here at Roundhead. Gonna get into some multi-tracks, some of my sessions, and just break down some of my creative processes in production, recording and mixing, and even songwriting. This is a session from Church and AP's Aston Martin. We recorded this at the Sniffers studio during one of their write nights, so which is like a 3-hour period of songwriting, like kind of start a song and finish it, present at the end of the night, which went on to being a single for them. So yeah, let's check it out.
Act all nice now, but I need the lube, not friends, not right now.
Hey, where you going? Ain't you gonna ask me to dance or something? No, don't leave the function unless I'm shotgun in your Aston Martin. No. Hey, where you going? Ain't you gonna ask me to dance or something? No, don't leave the function unless I'm shotgun in your Aston Martin. No.
Come on, let's ride. Come on, let's ride. I was like, come on, let's ride. Come on, let's ride. I was like, come on, let's ride. Come on, let's ride. I was like, come on, let's ride. Come on, let's ride. And I'm like, stay, don't bounce, just come to my place.
So that's the session on the day we recorded it, and we did the song at a Sniffers right night, so there was like 4 rooms going. We just got paired up. That's the first time I worked with the boys as well. And so they came in and they're like wanting to do some like sort of like earlier Pharrell, NERD sort of shit. And so a week before that, I'd also worked with, you guys know Matthew Young? And so we actually started this beat together, which was, if you heard Matthew's music and then you hear this, like it doesn't make sense. But as soon as they said that, I knew it just kind of had like this is what I made with Matt. It was pretty much just like that with the, I think I might have had this melody with it as well. And this guitar, I think. So yeah, me and Matt made that, and when the boys said kind of what they were wanting to do, I just kind of thought, normally I'd like go from scratch, and with them I kind of wanted to go from scratch, but just I knew I had this one idea, and as soon as I played them, they're like in half an hour, like Church had done the hook and wrote most of his verse, and they're fucking crazy by themselves. Yeah, so we just did that. Recorded the vocals, and like if you've heard the final record, like they've like I didn't mix it, so this is just literally from the room. They added an extra verse as well and mucked around with it, and the final's really awesome. So if you haven't heard it, go check it out at some point. But yeah, this is like, I tend to do everything in Ableton. Like, how many people use Ableton? What else do you guys use? Like Logic? FL. I came up on FL, so like my sort of workflows always wanted to be quite like super more like production focused rather than recording. But the more I got into this, the more I just found my own way of like recording. And like I was just looking at my chain before, so this is like the lead vocal chain. It's just got all this shit on it. But and the reason why it's like not all the time, especially now, I'm not using this much shit, but why I got all this stuff on like this, I don't know if anyone knows what this plugin is, but it like pretty much just makes the volume just one level. And I just got all this shit on it because we were working so fast in the room that I wanted to like have the vibe of what the vocal can sound like finished, so everyone can sort of vibe off it rather than just like get real technical into it. But also Church and AP, they're just also really quick and really fast and like just really good at what they're doing. So it's not like we did a lot of vocal takes. Like to be honest, it felt like they'll come up, just do their vocal easy, and I was like almost felt like we were just doing like a demo, but that was like a lot of it was what they kind of used in the end.
What's that plugin called?
Auto Volume. I'm pretty sure this stuff is free. Like they have a whole bundle of stuff that's just free. I found this, and it's kind of like a vocal writer on crack. Like I can slam it and compress it, and I don't use this much. Sometimes I'll parallel into this and like kind of have it sort of, I don't know, kind of like a more squash vocal and just mixing it in a little bit. But as you can see, like this chain is definitely like, I was trying to be really quick. I was trying to think what mic I use. Normally when I go, because it wasn't in my studio, I use a Manly Reference C. And normally I'll take that with me because I've used a lot of vocalists on it and know exactly what I'm getting from it. No other hardware, no other preamps. Just I think we just went into like a Scarlett that was there. This is all you're hearing is me mixing in the room off some KRKs, which are fire, but like on the lower end. And but I grew up on KRKs, so kind of had an idea of what I was listening to. And I use this a lot. Anyone use the Slate Digital stuff? Couple. It's fucking mean. Like it's good. Yeah, like everything sounds nice. Like you can. Yeah, it's pretty. It's whatever plugin you get into, you know, you'll love it. I'm pretty messy with my sessions as well. Like I think, like half the time I won't even name stuff. I'm trying to get better at that. Oh, you can hear the bleed in it. So we just had it playing in the room, and I can't like if there's a workflow going, like I don't like I want to be, and I like so they're all actively working, and so Church was like working on his verse a bit and work on a bit of this, and then everything was playing out loud in the room. Like I didn't want to take from, oh yeah, hold up, let's just like let me record my piano. I'm trying to do everything I want to do while they're doing their stuff. And a big part of like how and anyone that has probably worked with me like knows how like I get sort of like if someone picks up a guitar, I'm ready to plug it in. Like let's like keep it, let's move it or get every idea out possible. So this is just, I think I would have put, because it wasn't my studio and there was a piano in there, which was dope. There might have been like I can't remember what mic. I think it might have been some random condenser mic that was just by it, and I just, I think I just set it in front of it, but I opened the lid as well. I couldn't take the thing off. At the same time, I didn't really care. I just wanted the piano sound. I just had it, and I was like, I kind of wasn't thinking about like it actually being serious. But then I also use it on like it's in this part as well. So that's the same thing, but just Ableton pitch shifted it down an octave. Works, yeah. But I think the volume must have been lower at that point because there's not as much bleed as you can hear in this one.
How often are you using headphones with other artists in the room?
I used to do it a lot. Like I would sort of jump into headphones and try to do stuff, and Dad would be sitting there kind of like, what is he doing? And that was more because like I wasn't, and this is sort of when I first took on my studio at Parachute, like I was unsure how to communicate some of the stuff I wanted to do. So I just kind of like just let me do it for a little bit, and which I still think is all good. Like, cause sometimes some people want just to have their own space to like get it right. But I think now I'm just like, I'll just do whatever, and like if they start saying stuff, then I feel like just because I've done enough sessions, I can like. Because one of the big things is that an artist will be like you'll push like the first sound, they're like, oh, I don't like that. It's like, well, we haven't even tried anything. Like I just opened it, you know? So yeah, it's just like also working on being able to communicate what you're doing and, you know, what like working around that sort of situation. But sometimes if we have time and I'm getting to mix, I'll like go between headphones, just like hear it and then jump back in. Like there's times for it, and then personally. But yeah, at the start of like doing a lot of sessions, I was going into headphones a lot, just because I like struggled to communicate what I wanted to do.
And how often are you like producing more of the song after a session with an artist? Like, do you go in deep like later on, or is it you try and do everything in the room? Or?
Yeah, no, it depends. It depends. Like this, I was confident on getting because like this session was one of those ones where we just gelled really easily, really quick. I could feel they had a trust in me and what I was gonna do. And you'll get those sessions where like whoever like is in the room and will let you do what you want to do, and then you know like that allowed me to get everything done. And like we only had 3 hours to sort of make a song and then present it at the end of the night. And I was also considerate of that. Like I want it to sound like it's ready. Yeah, it's ready. But most of the time, like I will try get everything sounding as much where I want it by the end of the session. Just 'cause I feel like sometimes it can be hard to go back in if it's like, you know, to like if you do a little bit of work and then try work on that same vibe again. But again, it's like it's case by case. Like the producer I work for in the States, he's the opposite. He focuses on like getting the best song, the writing, and just does like chords, and then afterwards he would take it and he would just work all night on it, and that's dope too. So you can kind of go either way with it. But there has been a lot of times. I did a session a month ago where I wasn't really sure. Like I was when I was talking to you guys before about how this artist came in and she telling me about all the shit that was going on, and she played me the song and I wanted to record it, and I didn't know how where my boundaries were on like wanting to take it. So we just kind of worked on the main parts, got some it's like a quite acoustic sort of song, and we got the piano down, the guitar, and then then later when she left, I was like, you know, I'm just gonna like have a go and do what I would do to it, and that like I went down a rabbit hole like of just going crazy on it, trying lots of things, putting some live drums on it, doing some. And the whole time I was thinking, I was like, oh yeah, I found it. I found the direction I want to go, and the whole time I was thinking like, oh, but like she might not like it. And then send it to her later on, and like really nervous too, because I thought that, you know, when you work on something you think it's like it's mean, and then you got to show it to the artist to see if they're on board with it too. It's like quite could be like just unsure what they're gonna think of it, which is good because I feel like that's like you are passionate about it, which is mean. And yeah, I sent it to her and she was just like, fuck, this is like you aced it, and I was like, yes. Ableton's so good for like being quick with like putting ideas down. Like I think they've really like made it that way, and because I love recording vocals, like I like having them in the same sort of workspace to like just like I don't know, because it makes me feel like I can treat the vocals like a production thing as well, so I can fuck them up as well and do whatever. And yeah. Oh, so this was a tricky one, and they aced it more in the mix that they did more than me, because there is points where the 808 is sort of hitting with it as well, and I think it's a lot of my stuff, especially on the bass side, or most of my projects, even if it's like real acoustic stuff, I just love side chaining to the kick. Like one of my favorite things is making like the kick feel like it's just like about to knock you out, and I reckon that's like. This was a tricky one because there was an 808 hitting on these sort of like moments and then just jamming it. So it kind of works and it kind of doesn't, but that was the vibe I wanted, and I wasn't really paying attention to the mix part on this side. So I just use this is just side chaining it. There's a big difference. Just tight, way more tight, punch. But that's like, everyone knows that trick.
With your drum programming, are you normally choosing your drum samples and then just
Dragging
them
them.
like
Yep.
like you have there? Or are you using like the drum rack or like addictive drums or anything like that?
No, I just even when I was using FL, I got into a habit of like jumping out of or doing some stuff in the sequencer and then just dragging samples in and being able to place them. I don't know. That was just the habit I got onto. I like seeing it visually like that too, but sometimes most of the time I also put or sometimes actually, I'll try like hi-hats into like the simpler and then playing them in sometimes. I think I might no, I didn't even do that with this. These hats.
Hey, where you going? What you gonna ask me to dance?
Yeah, nothing crazy on the... Anyone use this? This is actually hectic.
What's the preset?
This is I stopped using presets on this, but I'm making my own, but this is hip hop puncher. It does a weird thing where I don't know, it takes a lot out of the bass and then but this what band is that? I can't even tell. I'll just hear it on and off actually.
Hey, where you going? What you gonna ask me to dance or something? No, don't even function unless I'm shotgun in your ass.
That's a lot. That's like heaps.
Hey, where you going? What you gonna ask me to dance or something? No,
it's like the sound goodizer. Fuck.
And that's all on your master.
That's all I mastered. So this is an older session. I've come a long way from this, but I don't know. It's same thing. Like I base all my decisions on mixing from, and like actually I wasn't mixing this, but like in terms of getting the vibe right, just off listening. If I do one thing and it's even like you shouldn't do it, but it sounds better than what it was before, and I do a lot of like A-Bing and like come back to it later. Do I actually need that? I do that a lot with stuff on the mix bus. Like Church especially is really vocal on his production ideas, which is cool. And so he was asking for like more shakers and more things like that. And then so I was literally in that sense, like from that ended up adding like these like soul series sort of loops. Yeah. Which that on top of like the. Shout out to Splice for that one, eh? Yeah.
Do you like to start with drums, or like?
Depends on the sort of like the record. Like depends on like kind of if the song even needs drums, you know. I don't know. I about half and half. Like if I'm starting from scratch with a song, then.
And then how would your process change? I suppose from working with artists to say you just making music yourself and just having fun. Does it change much, or is it?
Yeah, I'd say so. The different approaches, like I feel like when I'm working with an artist, I have an idea of where we're gonna go. With my own shit, I'm just like, fuck knows where this is gonna go. Or like most of the time, like I'll kind of be weird with it. More like not trying to be weird, but just because I'm like kind of wanting to experiment a bit. So I feel like I don't like no one can tell me I can't, you know, which is kind of the fun part. So this is the session. The final release, so I mixed it, this is all the final mix, I think. And pretty much after, like I wrote it all and did it in like 2 or 3 hours and then didn't really touch it after that.
I took a flight up to Hollywood to build my ultimatum. The streets are finally saying, I hope I don't lose my mind. I get like this all the time. Midnight trip to the desert road to fix my imagination. I'm so copy pasting, but hope I don't run out of time. I hope I make it over the line. 'Cause we're still young and we're still trying to figure it out. I know it makes sense somehow. Fucking around in the bell. I know we have all our doubts. Can we just talk at the bank? In a year when I get rich, I'll be my own referee. Don't try to say what is best for me. 'Cause I got my whole fucking team with me. 'Cause right now you'll do is sleep with me. 'Cause I got my whole fucking team with me. Team, I got 'em bad, they gon' get me too, yeah. I told my mom it'll be alright. I know I'm such a nuisance. I should've got insurance the time I went to Atlanta. Georgia State, seal my fate. Left with bruises on my face. Power home, got shit replaced. I know I'll figure it out. I am when I'm on my own. Don't give up on me now. I got some dreams in the now, so we'll just figure it out. If you're with what I'm about, don't try to say what is best for me. 'Cause I got my whole fucking team with me. 'Cause right now you'll do is sleep with me. 'Cause I got my whole fucking team with me. Team, I got 'em bad, they gon' get me too, yeah, yeah. I know I just do it wrong, make it up all the time, feels alright. For some time I didn't know how to go on a road, don't I know,
Yeah, so I really like this song because I was able to get away with like shit that you probably shouldn't get away with. Like using a lot of live instruments, being able to have like a bit of a live drum sound in there, but then also like coming up of a beat maker, like just throwing that in there just because I can, and that's what I mean by like being able to sort of experiment. Like I wasn't making this with the thought of ever releasing it. I was just making because it was fun to make, which I thought was such a good sort of headspace to be in when making music. If you could be in that sort of headspace, then like you tend to be a lot less safe and be a bit more free. Not really care about who's like who you're gonna make happy from this and who you're not. It's just one of those songs, but it was also a story. Like the whole back sort of side of the story is something that like the song I always wanted to tell. But some of this stuff, like these stories, where like it comes like from a songwriter point for me. Like it comes from a more real place. I feel like I don't go chasing those songs. I honestly feel like they just get given to me. And it's like when it's time to like put this out, then I kind of just receive it and then put it out. Like that's what it feels like when it's happening. I'm not really like, I never go sort of chasing it, like figure out a story that's relative back to like whatever. This is again, like, I feel like this year my process has changed a bit, but at the same time, like, because I'm in the studio by myself and I'm doing everything by myself, and like the Church and AP one, I'm trying to make it like as free flow as possible. So I'm just like, I'm not thinking like I should be I'm setting it up properly like how I would with a lot of other sessions now. I'm just like, just throw it on, like throw the reverb on the channel. Like normally I'd like, you know, send to like a reverb and have the delays and everything on separate channels, and but this I was just trying to be just as simple as possible. This is my like, I always sort of change up what I put into this as well, but kind of based on what I'm feeling. Like the EQs, not a lot going on. This is cool. Just nice, like sort of.
I took a flight up to Hollywood to build my automaton.
I'm a fan of like real like bright vocals, which like I hear a lot of people like get pissed off about when they hear some of my vocal stuff because it's like just piercing. But I like it, so.
I took a flight up to Hollywood to build.
It's compression stuff here. I for some reason I use a lot of compressors. I use a lot of like EQs.
Took a flight up to Hollywood to build my automaton.
It's crazy actually hearing. I don't know if anyone can hear that whistle. I didn't hear that before.
Took a flight up to Hollywood to build my automaton. The streets are finally saying, hold up.
Either that's just this room or my studio is shit. Yeah, so the vocals are simple. Again, like I would have been using this for saving time, and I would have just wanted the vocal to be right on the front, and I would have slapped this on. And hold on, I'll see if I can, if you can hear it with, I'll turn it on and off.
I took a flight up to Hollywood to build my automaton. The streets are finally saying, I hope I don't lose my mind.
Essentially, it just kills like the dynamics of it like completely, which is quite funny. But then doing that parallel, would be kind of. Oh, it's me doing it parallel. Like not like now I do it parallel. I to be honest, I don't use that one as much. Like I'll slam like the parallel compression for vocals most of the time. I'll slam it through something like quite crazy. Has anyone used like the omnipressor? That compresses crazy for that. And super versatile too. You can be soft with it and like get like a LA to a sort of slow compression, or you can go like make it sound like a decapitator almost. And some like stuff automating. Like normally I'll put all this automation stuff on another channel because I like having the vocal like quite dry. There's not a lot to it. I recorded it through the Manly C, and then I have a the Ventec clone of the 1073 preamp, and that has like an essential EQ, so it's got like sort of like a low band and a high band, and it's super nice. And I think most of the sound was captured through that. I also record with this on while I'm recording. I don't know how many other people do that. Just live auto-tune.
Like crank?
Just slightly to make it sound like I'm a good singer, I think. Sometimes cranked, but like sometimes when we're writing in the room, we'll like crank it all the way up, chuck it on an SM7B, play it through the speakers, and kind of puts everyone at the same sort of like pitch level, which is mean. You just pass the mic around. That's something that we got learnt off Nate Campney, who I met at Songhubs. Oh, yeah, Instant Vibe. This is a personal habit of mine that like I understand isn't always good as well, because every record that I sing on, and it's correcting me out loud, out of the cans, I'm probably singing like shit. Which actually, I think this one was actually all right, because it's like really in my range to sing. But I like doing this because it just helps me get that vibe. It takes pitch out of the thing, and I can try and get the conviction and the feeling right. So I don't have to worry about pitch. If I was really trying to get that pitch, which I want to hear, because I hate like hearing stuff out of tune, like I'm going to be pushing for that way more than actually getting the feeling, and the vibe for me isn't going to be right. Yeah, so that's handy. I'm pretty sure someone said yesterday that they'll never do that. But yeah, it's whatever. Like, yeah, I'm big on feeling. Like I want the feeling. I don't care if the pitch is shit. People don't want to hear like there's this like this thing that I live by where like people don't want to hear a singer. They just want to hear a person. That's like pitch can be, and Simon was saying yesterday, pitch can be fixed, and that's fine. And pitch, like every song, like nearly every song in the world that's coming out now is being like altered manually in the pitch. So the thing I want is just feeling. Also, this one I didn't comp any vocals. I didn't save my comps. This is a personal thing. I kind of do it just with me and with Mikey as well. So like, I don't know, we'll just record it and then we'll go back over it, and then there's parts we're chopping, we'll just keep going, and we'll just drag it in, and we'll just discard everything else. And that's the idea of just like committing to it. This also had like some cool like gang vocals, which are just grouped. That was like the big chant thing.
Cause I got my whole fucking team with me. Cause right now,
I think that was a mixture of me, and then I see Ryan, you got some.
How would they pay it?
That's interesting. I don't know. Yeah, it's pretty like, so a couple down the center. I think these ones are all my ones.
Cause I got my whole fucking team with me.
And I'll try to do like all these different voices. So like it sounds like, cause I was by myself, so like I had to make it sound like if you just layer up your own vocal doing the same thing, it's just gonna sound like you in a room doing it heaps of times. So even like one of them, it was just like, there wasn't even any tone to it. Like, there was like, it was like kind of, no, this one.
Cause I got my
Like that's just like shouting it, you know? What's this one?
Cause I got my whole fucking team with me.
Imagine if it was just that, eh? Like, oh fuck. The remix, eh? Fuck, that'd be hilarious. But you, like, I don't know who I learned it from, but who did I learn it from? There was someone that told me about like putting on different characters and like trying to sound like, actually now I don't want to go through something because I feel like I might have done it, like just trying to sound like me and some of my mates did a lot when we're doing, because we do a lot of gang vocal stuff on tracks, and that's one good way to make it sound like there's all these different voices, because you're essentially doing different tones. Like your voice has one tone, and you know, like I said before, like you just keep laying up that. But it's so good because now that sounds like.
Got my whole fucking team with me.
That sound, and I got this weird like. So I turn this off.
Cause I got my whole fucking team with me.
So it's just like a weird. From the plugin Alliance bundle, but it's like a quite cool sort of stereo shaper thing. That's the preset. And then that layered up with mine and Ryan's ones.
Cause I got my whole
I think this one's a bit normal.
Cause I got my whole fucking team with me. Cause I got my whole fucking team with me.
Like you want it to sound like there's like a whole bunch of people like kind of shouting it. So that's always fun. I feel like I do that sort of different every time. Like I'm always just like sort of judging it, like the gang vocal thing, but it's always fun to like really experiment with, like doing different voices, like even like that weird fucking this thing on it. Like I didn't realize I was on it, but like just throwing weird imaging things on it to just, you know, widen it out. Or
do you put like random effects on different each vocal as well, or are you kind of like
sometimes, yeah. Sometimes I think this I was just so lazy. Like I didn't even touch any of them separately, apart from the panning. I think I just slapped them on. I didn't even do any EQ. Well, lightly. Like that's the C6, and that's that's on that weird gang group. Oh fucking team with me. That's it. Like I'm not even like touching. And this is the final mix. So like I feel like some other mix engineers will go through like compressor, EQ on each one. I just wasn't thinking like that. I was just sounded good there and leave it. Yeah, so all the bass is live. There's also I was looking at this last night. There's just like this bass melody. I played the guitar, but I played it shit, so I quantized every point of it.
Is it DI acoustic?
It might be, because it sounds like it.
Yeah.
I can't remember whose acoustic I would have had for this.
And then you're using like Complex Pro?
Pro. Yeah, Complex Pro. So that's like, you can hear like the rushing in that. Classic is... The bass would have been, yeah, DI, probably straight into the front of my pre, actually. So, I'm just trying to think, whose guitar would I have used to DI it? Like, this is shit that you, like, they tell you not to do. Don't, like, acoustic DI, acoustic guitar, and that's, like, the main feature of the song. Like, it sounds cool. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, it works. At the same, like, this whole thing is me also trying to go fast. It's not like, half time I can't be bothered setting up mics. And saying that, I love like the process of recording live instruments, and when it's other people, like I go a bit too full on, like trying different mics, moving them around, and I get like pretty into it. But for my own shit, well, I'm just like, I don't really care about it. Yeah, so the bass would have been, what is this one too? Like anyone that's like worked with me knows I love this like slide guitar shit. Sample Tank, I use like pretty much all the strings. I use Sample Tank. Does anyone use like Sample Tank? The IK Multimedia, I think, make it. What are the other plugins that they do? Yeah, like the Moto Bass, and they're like full. Sample Tank's crazy for pretty decent sounding like live instruments, strings, bass, piano, drums. I've had it for ages, and the strings are nice. Like, so when the strings come in here, I think some automation coming on that at the last moment. I think the reverb just comes out and like makes it quite washy, which is fun. The live drum parts that come in here. I recorded the snare. The kick is a sample. So I think it's two. There's. I recorded the shaker. I feel like I would have, I quantized, like moved the snares in time at least. Like the hits. And I must have been treating them, how was I treating them?
Are you using brushes as well?
It sounds like it, eh? But I can't remember the last time I picked up some brushes, so I'm trying to think. No, I got these like plastic ones. Yeah, like rods, but they're plastic, so they're a bit lighter, and normally they're tied up at the end, so they're just like, but one of the things are broken off, so it's like a plastic brush. You can kind of hear it like dragging along the. Like, yeah, it's not like the most ideal thing for it, but it worked. So another, I think it's a sample. Anyone use this? Same guys that make Soothe. It's like a transient sort of thing. I think I just bought it, so I was kind of using it on everything. I don't use it crazy a lot at the moment. Yeah, and then the next part is that, like, I assume it's all these ones. Yeah, so I kind of kept the hi-hat going through because I wanted that, like, sort of just a bit more consistency with it. So, like, which actually sounds a bit absurd when you like kind of think about it. Yeah, I mean that's kind of it. It's just one of those songs that just came and I left it. To be honest, if I didn't go to Sydney, I probably wouldn't have done anything with it. Because everyone else was telling me to do something with it. And that was a big comment. Like when I showed it to Scott from Warner, his first thing was like, he got really disappointed when it comes in. It feels like it's gonna hit now on the chorus, and it doesn't. So Scott's first thing was like, oh, you should make it like make the drums come in like right on the chorus, and I was like, no, I don't really fuck with that. I tried it. I did try it, but there was something kind of cool about like leaving it like that, leaving it like sort of not giving you exactly what you want. And then again, like, so the chorus comes in and it's a nice beat. And you kind of dip out and then you just get like really hit in the face. So I think after like sort of breaking it down, like it just came out to be a song that just keeps you like not knowing what's going to happen next. Which is really relative to the story, and I was kind of thinking about that a bit. Like I was trying to think about the story behind the song and like the things I'm talking about, and like the song is like kind of has that sort of meaning to it. And again, I was just trying to play on that in the production. Like the whole like, I don't really want to go into it, but the whole story is like quite tense in a way, and I wanted that feeling throughout the whole thing. Georgia State, seal my fate. Left with bruises on my face. Power home, got shit replaced. I know I'll figure it out.